All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Creative Cat Podcast. My name is Breezee. I do video, photography, and I'm a musician. So let's get to it. All right, guys, I know that I've been gone for like the past week, but I just recently got married. So I think I have a valid excuse of why I haven't been around. But it's only been a week, so chill. And plus, a lot of people don't watch this podcast yet, so it's cool. All right, so in today's video, there we go again with the YouTube shit. Actually, in today's podcast, I want to talk about making merch. So I'm gonna just show you guys on the screen real quick. For those that are just listening to the audio, sorry about it. You won't be able to see it. But I got a new logo. And the reason why I got a new logo was so that I can promote my brand. And so before, I had a regular logo that I made myself. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I just practically ended up taking a photo of this cat right up here on the side, if you guys can see him. And what I had done, I took a picture of it and then I animated it on Photoshop and then I made it out of a logo. But I finally decided to go legit and got my friend, Nicholas Gray. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for making the logo. If anybody need logos, go to Nicholas Gray. Make sure that you reach out to him. But so I finally decided to make merch because sometimes when you're doing videos, especially like as a social media entrepreneur or whatever you want to call it, or for your like social presence, sometimes so when you're making videos, you want to be able to show your brand. And so a person that kind of got me interested in doing this, his name is actually Kyle Beats. And so, in a lot of his videos, he would wear his logo, Kyle Beats, on his hat. And so I was thinking, you know what? I want a hat, and so I ended up getting the logo commissioned, and then I got the logo, and then I finally decided to do a hat. And practically, if you're a brand or you want to gain more awareness or anything like that, I think it is really important that you consider making merch. You might not even want to make merch for other people if that's like where you're at. But if you want to talk to people about like, hey, like, and hold on, give me a moment. I want to make sure that I'm actually filming. So you don't want to sell it to people. That's okay. That's fine. I think you should make merch for your own brand because it's a good talking point and it's something that you can wear. And if people have questions about it, they're like, oh, dude, where'd you get that? Or what is that? It's a good talking point. And of course, not everyone is going to be interested in your product, but it's a starting point. Like, it's something cool and it's a potential way that you can like make money out of it. And so I think that's really, really cool. So that's the main reason why I made my merch. But let's talk about online stores that can help you to make shirts. So shirts, hats, or anything like that. So I was my voice just broke. So I just made recently an account with so the name of the website is Printful, and you could do a lot of things. Of course, right now because of COVID, they're a little bit backed up. I ordered myself about like a week and a half ago, but they haven't done it. But I really like it because I was able to order one hat, and that one hat only cost me, just for the hat, it cost me about like $23 or $24. I can't remember exactly, but that's really cheap to get a dad hat, and I've been wanting a dad hat, and so that's really, really cool. The other thing that you can sell is you can get like t-shirts, you can get leggings, you can get socks, you can get all sorts of things, and it's like they're not even charging you a lot. So I was like, all right, cool. The things that they do charge you for is, so there's this thing called, I'm not exactly sure if I remember the name of it, but practically they'll charge you like $10 extra for your image, and your image practically gets uploaded to their machine so that they can reproduce the logo. But that's a one-time thing. So the total cost for me to buy my first hat was about like $36. So it was only like $10 more. On the front, I'm gonna have my Lucky Cat Beats logo, and then on the back, I'm just gonna have the title Lucky Cat Beats. And so it's something that you guys should consider if you're considering about getting merch. I would definitely recommend Printful. Like I said, you could order in bulk or you could order just one. And if you order just one the first time, it'll only cost you $32, $34 for a dad hat. And if not, then like for the next time, it'll charge you $23 for the hat because it'll already have your logo recognized in their system so that their machines can print it. So if you want like merch, make sure that you go check out Printful. And yeah, just because branding is important, make sure that you have your logos and stuff like that already. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about, was making merch. The second one is something that I always talk about on this podcast, and that is taking risks. So one of the risks that I took this last week was I said no to being a house videographer or a house editor. And the reason why I did that, and it was only like a part-time, and I mean, I hadn't applied, but I knew the person, and like I probably could have gotten the job and stuff, but I said no because if you think about it, like if you're building up someone else's brand, like that takes time and it takes dedication. But right now, with all the uncertainty of what's going on, especially with like COVID, like it's better to build your own brand so that in the future you can like reap what you sow. And so if you spend time trying to build up your brand and stuff like that, like it's better if you reap the benefits rather than somebody else. Not that working for somebody else isn't important, but how do I say it? Like I already did that. Like I already did that for 2 YouTubers. I already did that, and now I think it's time for me to just kind of build my own brand and make my own money. So like one of the key factors that I decided to do this was because I don't want to trade time for money. Like that's the lowest type of way that you can make money. I want to make money in my sleep. Like I want to make money by like selling products. I want to make money like passively, you know, and it's not easy, but you have to build up in order to get there. And one of those ways, like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, is through making content. And so I'm really taking that seriously, and I want to do that for myself. So if you're in a position, like right now I'm working for Amazon. I don't want to be working for Amazon, but I'd rather work 4 days so that I could have 3 days free. And it's kind of a sacrifice, but you know, you have to sacrifice for what you want. You have to think about all these things and kind of weigh out what's better for you. And might take like a year or 2 for me to be where I want to be, but that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So sometimes like taking risks means saying no to people, even though you might benefit a lot from it. If you already know where you want to go, like stick to that path. Like don't let anything get in the way of you going to that path. Like go where your goals are at. Like don't let nothing like distract you from it, you know? And so one of those things is money, you know, like or opportunities that you can turn down that might be there later, you know, but what you won't get back is the time that you could have spent building up your brand. So always take risks on yourself, and sometimes that means that you have to say no to certain things. So that's the second point that I want to talk about today. And I already talked about liberating yourself from hourly pay. So that's important because like hourly pay, like there's only so much you can get in 24 hours. You could only work probably like 10 hours, and after that you're done. But if you're able to build for yourself like products, you can sell those without you being there. Like, you get me? You can make videos promoting your product. Like everything is passive and stuff. So that's where I want to be next. And if you want to be in that, like start heading towards that path. And one of those ways, like I mentioned earlier, is making merch. It's not like easy, and like it's not like, how do I say it? It's not 100% sure, but it's better to take those risks than not taking those risks. So that's that. The third thing that I want to talk about today is everything is timing. So what do I mean by that? Well, so one of the craziest things that like we don't really consider is timing. Like, I know this sounds kind of weird, but like one of those things for me now is like I spent a lot of time like working for other people, like helping them with their brand and stuff. And then like because of COVID, I ended up just figuring out like, you know what, like if I can do this stuff for them, then I can do it for myself. But maybe I wasn't ready to do it until after coronavirus hit. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just start doing everything myself. And so that's what I'm doing now. And sometimes like you might be a place where you don't want to be, but make sure that you learn as much as you can during that time, so that when you end up like losing that opportunity, or you get like kicked out of that job, or you don't end up doing that work anymore, like soak everything that you can, because you don't know when you're gonna need that knowledge in the future. So I think everything is timing, and you wanna just be ready, be prepared, be ready for the next thing. And that's the only way to really be ready, is to always be doing the best that you can in whatever it is that you're doing, and learn as much as you can. And like, I'm kind of glad that I learned as much that I could from other people, and now that I'm implementing it on myself, I'm not seeing the immediate rewards yet monetary wise, but I feel like I'm picking up on my stride. I'm getting better, like even like making the hats, everything is perfect timing. And yeah, like if you're stuck in an area, just make sure that you learn as much as you can, whether it be information or whether it be an experience. Like if you don't want to experience that thing again, make sure that you take the proper steps to protect yourself from ever being in that position ever again. And so yeah, everything is timing, and whether bad or good, make sure that you learn the best of it that you can, so that in the future you can like grow from it and you can apply it to your to yourself, you know. I think this is really, really important, because I know there's some people that like they're always waiting for the next thing without really preparing for the next thing. Like if you're not ready, you're gonna miss that opportunity. And that's something that's like, you don't want to be there, you know, like, oh man, I could have done this if I didn't have, like, I could have done this if I had paid more attention in this, or I could have done this, da da da. Like, stop making excuses. Just start doing what you have to do, learn from your experiences, and be ready for the next thing, because everything is timing. And if you're not ready for it, then you'll miss your opportunity, you know. And I feel like I'm telling this to somebody that needs to hear it. So like, yeah, man, like, but don't be hard on yourself, but just make sure if you fail from that experience and you're not ready for the next thing, make sure that you learn, you know, like that's the only way to get better. So that's that. And then lastly, and I know all of these kind of end up intertwining together, but the last one is that only you can stop yourself. So originally, when I was making my logo and stuff like that, I was like, you know, like nobody's gonna buy the hats, nobody's gonna do this, da 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 da. Like I was thinking like oh, like paying for like 20 hats was gonna be like $600 or something like that. And I just kept on researching. Like I went on YouTube and I looked up like different because I'm sure you guys have heard of Ink. Ink is practically like a website that like does the same thing as Printful, but Printful is a lot cheaper. But I didn't know about this website about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But if you want to do something, don't let money stop you. Don't let like things stop you. Like just research, just go on YouTube, look up the key terms of whatever it is that you're trying to find, and just go for it. Like, yeah, you might lose money, you might not make money out of it, or it might be a bad investment, but that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like just keep on going, you know? And so that's one of the things that I just had to get into my head a lot. Is like, only I can stop myself. And one of those things is like, even recently on my previous podcast, I mentioned as I'm selling beats, that I was going to start a BeatStars, but I didn't want to do a BeatStars because I didn't want to pay money. It's only like $10. So what the fuck am I talking about? But I was like, you know what if I don't sell beats? Then I don't sell beats, you know? Like, I just got to go to the next step and just keep on growing. So, like, to any other people that are out there that are thinking about making shirts or making things or anything like that, like, just go. It's not that hard. I'm giving you the advice to do it, and like I'm showing you the steps that you can do and stuff like that, like, or at least just make stuff for yourself, you know? Like, just start taking steps, and then it gets a lot easier, you know? It's a lot of work, but it gets a lot easier. But yeah, that's practically today's podcast. Just to do a little recap is, if you have a brand, make sure that you start making merch, or at least make merch for yourself, so that you can have easier conversations to people about what it is that you do, or get other people interested in it. The second thing is like, take risk and know where you're going. So sometimes that means to say no to certain opportunities that might derail you from where you're going, you know. And if you already have an idea set in mind of where you want to go, then go there, you know. Why would you go anywhere else, you know? And then the second thing is that, like, you need to liberate yourself from the 9 to 5. You need to liberate yourself from the hourly paid job. And, like, I'm talking about this as someone that's still working for Amazon hourly, but I'm working towards making passive income. And so you need to start working for that if you're a brand. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. You're not going to be able to leave your job and to be able to focus on your business that you want to do, you know, and you have to take all these risks, and that's just how it is. The fourth thing is that everything is timing, and learn as much as that you can from the situation that you're in, whether good or bad, and be prepared for when an opportunity arises, and just be ready. And then the last one is only you can stop yourself. You know, like you might think that all these other people's voices are in your head, but it's not you. Like, it's not yourself. And this is something that I had to tell myself, like why would I put myself down? Like, why? Like, that doesn't even make sense, you know? So only you are stopping yourself. Like, your value of other people's opinions is what's stopping you, but, like, just ignore it. Just keep on going, and it'll get easier as soon as you take your first step. But before you take that first step, it's still difficult. But if you're still, like, figuring out of where to go or where you want to go, like just take that first step, and you don't know where it's going to lead you, but you know it's going to lead you forward and not backwards or being stagnant, which doesn't lead you anywhere. But that's just a quick recap about the podcast. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Ray Breezee of the Creative Cat Podcast. I hope, if anything resonated, that you guys subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day. Peace.